by a formula?
For cubic, we do not have any formula.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant the raised to 3 both terms.
We need to factorize it. 3 factors. How can we make 3 factors for this cubic? So for cubic, first factor is always obtained by trial and error. Okay, unless any extra information is given in the question, like over here nothing is given, we'll go with trial and error. Now for trial and error, most of the questions will have plus minus 1, plus minus 2, and plus minus 3 as one of the zeros for sure. Okay, now you don't have to try 6 possibilities. You have to be like, you need to think in a smarter way to do it in less attempts. Okay, trial and error. So if I stretch it, it will be 6 attempts, but we cannot go for 6 attempts to just get one factor. Okay, so just try to observe it carefully and think that whether it is going with 1. If I place x is equal to plus 1, 6 plus 16 will be 22, and 19 and 4 will be 23. So it is not going with 1. If it is not going with 1, there are less chances that it will even go with minus 1. So 1 minus 1 both are rejected. Next option is we can try with plus 2. So with plus 2, it will be 8, 6 are 48, 48 and 32. 48 and 32 will be 80. And if I place plus 2 over here, then it will be 19 times 4, 76. 76 and 4 is 80. So 80 minus 80 is 0. It means x is equal to plus 2 is x is equal to plus 2 is one of the zeros. So x minus 2 is one of the factors. So till here, if there is any question, you can ask. If this is done, the other 2 zeros can be obtained using long division. So I'm waiting for the other 2 zeros. So you guys can just see here, if you don't want to do long division, there is one more method, which is long division only, but directly we're not doing that. Okay, we'll just write down the factors directly without doing long division. How to do that? Just see here. So the first term which I need to create is 6x cubed. To create 6x cubed, when something will be multiplied with x, what should be that thing? Okay, same ideology what we use in that long division. So it should be 6x square. 6x square when multiplied with x will give me 6x cube. 6x square when multiplied with minus 2 is giving me minus 12x square. In total, I need minus 19x square. So if I need minus 19x square means I need extra minus 7x square. So to get minus 7x square, I will write minus 7x. Minus 7x multiplied with x will give me minus 7x square. And minus 7x with minus 2 will give me plus 14x. Plus 14x is extra. I need in total plus 16x. It means I am in need of plus 2x. So for plus 2x, I will just write 2. 2 multiplied with x and 2 multiplied with minus 2 will be minus 4. So if you have done everything correctly, then your last term will come automatically. Like 2 with minus 2 gave me minus 4 directly. So that's it. By long division, you're going to get this only. We can further factorize it. So it will be 2, 3, 2. So 4 and 3, x minus 2, 6x square minus 4x minus 3x plus 2. 2x, 3x minus 2, minus 1, 3x minus 2, and x minus 2. X minus 2, 2x plus 1, and 3x minus 2. We are done with the factors. So what I have
So
done
can you
is
go to
long
the middle
division
part?
only. Huh?
So can you go to the middle part of the step again where you did 14x and 2x. I think it's like, wouldn't it be 16x plus 14x?
Okay, how we have to think, just understand that. When I had written minus 7x, okay, so with minus 7x, I got minus 7x square. Minus 7x square
Yeah,
was needed to fulfill minus 19x square. Overall, we
yeah,
needed minus 19x square. And to get minus 19x square, we were already having minus 12x square from the first step, the 6x square. Okay, so the leftover part was minus 7x square, which we got after writing this.
yeah,
Now minus 7x when multiplied with minus 2 gave me 14x. 14x as of now is something which is just created on its own because of that minus 7x. The main purpose of minus 7x was to fulfill 19x squared term. Okay, but 14x is created on its own. So we'll use it to further get 16x. Now to get 16x, we already have 14x. So what should we do? We should just add 2x to it. So that 2x is what now we are trying to create. So to create 2x, I will just write 2. 2 multiplied with x will be 2x, and 2 with minus 2 is minus 4. So this is a verification that at last, if this 2 would have been wrong, then 2 times minus 2, I would not have got the last term on my own. Okay, there would have been something else. So this is like a verification that if we are getting the last term automatically, it means whatever we have done so far is right. Okay, and one step at a time we have to think, and whatever the leftover part is there for that term that we create. So over here minus 7x square and then plus 2x is what we created. Okay,
Sir, in the last part, isn't it 2x minus 1?
yeah, it is 2x minus 1. 2x minus 1 and 3x minus 2. The method which I have used for factorization, like for long division, it is not necessary. But yeah, this is an add-on thing which you can learn. Okay. If you can do it, even for the sake of showing you guys, I have written all this, this can be done mentally. You don't even have to write this. Okay. If I had to solve on my own, so I would have just done it directly. So initially you can write it down in rough, and then once you become more pro in that, then you can just write this thing directly. But yeah, it will come by practice. It cannot come by 3 or 4 questions. It will require 10 to 15 questions to practice like this. Okay, so now we have got factors. We can move forward for inequalities. Ashima, till here, do you have any question?
No, sir.
Rishon, Raghav, everything is clear till here?
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Okay, now let us see how to solve inequality. Solve fx less than 0. Fx means this thing less than 0. How do we solve it? Any one of you knows? So the first step is that we should draw a rough number line, writing all these zeros. So the zeros are 2, 1 by 2, and 2 by 3. Okay, so 2 by 3 is 0 0.6, 0 0.5. So 1 by 2 will come first, then 2 by 3, and then 2. I'm not plotting them, okay? I'm just arranging them as per the order. Okay. Then there are 4 sections created. If you see over here, there are total 4 sections. And these 4 sections will be among our answers. Okay, our answer will be from this only. So first we'll check a value which is less than 1 by 2. Check a value means we will put x value which is less than 1 by 2 in the inequality, and if that inequality satisfies means the whole region will be accepted. So let us put 0. That's the easiest one. So if I put 0 over here, -2, -1 and -2. So it will be overall negative only. Whatever is the answer, we don't have to worry about that. We have to just take care of sign. So when I put 0 over here, it's negative. It's negative means we wanted this region to be negative, so this will be accepted. Okay. After that, 1 by 2 to 2 by 3. 1 by 2 is 0.5 and 2 by 3 is 0.66. Okay. So just to check, you can put 0.6 in that. Okay. Once again, you have to just check the sign. So no need to solve. So when I put 0.6 over here, 0.6 minus 2 will be negative. 0.6 into 2 will be 1.2 minus 2 is positive, and 0.6 into 3 is 1.8. 1.8 minus 2 is negative. So negative negative is positive. I cannot take this region. Likewise, we can check for the other two also. Between 2 by 3 and 2, I can place 1, the easiest one. Okay, so 1 minus 2 is negative, 2 minus 1 is positive, and 3 minus 2 is positive. This is satisfying. And at last, beyond 2. So beyond 2, when I place 3, 3 minus 2 is 1. 6 minus 1 is positive. So both of them are positive. And the last one is positive. Okay, so this will not do. So overall, I got the answer. My answer will be fx is less than 0 for x less than 1 by 2, or x between 2 by 3 to 2. That will be the answer. Now in overall working, if there is any question, you can ask. So is it clear, all the steps?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sir.
So if this is clear, then f of 2x, I want you guys to do on your own. Okay, you take 2-3 minutes. Same we are doing f of 2x. So what happens? If it is f of 2x, then all the roots are divided by 2. Okay, just try to recall sine of 2x. If it was sine of 2x, then sine of 2x was a compressed graph by a factor of 2. The complete cycle of original sine was between 0 to 2 pi. But for sine of 2x, the complete cycle will be between 0 to pi. It means that whenever we have f of 2x, the roots, I'm talking about the roots, okay? All the roots will be divided by 2. So there will be no further change in the overall analysis. If you are replacing all x values by 2, so here it will be 2x, then 2 of 2, so it will be 4x, and then it will be 6x. So you will notice that all roots are just divided by 2. So because of that, this 1 by 2 will become 1 by 4, 2 by 3 will become 1 by 3, and 2 will become 1. Rest everything remains same. Even the analytical part, what we had seen in the previous one, that this will satisfy, this will not satisfy, this will satisfy, and this will not. That will also remain the same. So our final answer for f of 2x less than 0 will be x less than 1 by 4, and x is between 1 by 3 to 1. You don't have to show further steps, but it is very important to understand it like this. If you are clear in your head, then it is very naturally we can do it like this. Okay, so if there is any doubt, if anyone is not clear with what I did over here, you can ask.
So does it remain the same regardless with what you multiply it with?
What you multiply with, yeah, it will depend on that only, na? If it is 2, then divide by 2. If it is 3, then according to that. Okay. So what we can conclude in general, that if it is f of ax, then all zeros means roots of fx will be divided by a. If fx is having roots as x1, x2, and x3, so f of ax will have roots as x1 by a, x2 by a, and x3 by a. It may look a bit weird, but this is what we have done in that question. Okay, so this is connected with transformation. And if it is multiplied by a, assuming that the value of a is greater than 1, okay, this is applicable only when a is greater than 1. If a is 0.5 and something, then things will just get reversed. Instead of multiplying by a, dividing by a, you are going to multiply. So right now we are not discussing that. A has to be greater than 1. In that case, overall function will compress by that factor. F of ax is a compressed function. Okay, and all x values will be divided by a. So in general, if you want to write this conclusion, you can, and then we can move on to the third part of the question. So Rishon, Ashima, and Raghav, any question?
No.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, so let's move on to the next part. F of x minus 3. F of x minus 3, just try to understand the transformation first, and maybe you will get the answer very easily. Okay, the hint what I can give right now is that we can get the answer using our original analysis only. We don't have to do that one more time, but you should be clear with the transformation. That is important. So f of x minus 3, how it will affect the function? In general, f of x minus 3 means what? What type of transformation is this?
Horizontal towards the right.
Horizontal towards the right by 3 units. Okay, it means that all of your zeros which are already there on the number line, you have to just add plus 3 to all of them. Okay, so now the new number line will be 3 plus 1 by 2, that is 3.5, 7 by 2, 2 by 3 plus 3, it will be 11 by 3, and this will be 5. There will be no change in the analytical part. It will remain the same. Just write it down for x minus 3. Like you should replace everything, every x value by x minus 3, and your answer will still be the same. So answer will be x less than 7 by 2, and x is between 11 by 3 to 5. So just let me know if it is done. Yes, Raghav, we are coming on to that. The next question over here also, it is mod. Okay, and after that we will discuss few concepts on mod only. So is it clear and done, everyone?
Yeah, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what we have to understand before moving on to this mod, that when we are saying that f of x minus 3 is less than 0, so what is the meaning of that? F of x minus 3 is less than 0 means what? Which portion of this function is lying below x-axis? Okay, so now that thing we have to try for mod. Okay, so let us see. Let me remove few things first. F of x minus 3, if we create, then it will be x minus 3 minus 2, that is x minus 5. 2x minus 6 minus 1, so 2x minus 7. And this will be 3x minus 11. Now we are trying to solve mod of this thing less than or equal to 0. Okay, so it is better to first understand that how do we draw the graph of mod of this. Okay, for this particular question, calculator will be allowed. Okay, whenever we have to analyze the graph, so you can do it from the calculator and then you can just get the final inequalities. Okay, so to draw the graph in the simplest way, we will just take these zeros. So I have 5, I have 7 by 2, and I have 11 by 3. Same thing, 7 by 2, 11 by 3, and 5. And then I have to see that how the function is actually going. Okay, so that also I have seen over here that this thing is negative, this thing is negative for 7 by 2 and for this region. Okay, I am taking this as a reference because we have just done it now only. So f of x minus 3 is less than 0 for 7 by 2. It means the graph will be somewhat coming from downwards. Then it will come here. Okay, how it is going, really we don't care about it because we are not drawing the actual graph. We are just looking at the pattern. And this will also go, and then after that, it's positive. So it will go like this. Okay, so this is the graph for f of x minus 3 in general. What I want you to understand from the graph is that when we are making the graph of a modulus, modulus means all negative part will become positive. Okay, the positive part remains positive and negative part will also become positive. So the graph will be like this. The negative portion will be like this and this remains same. This will come here. Okay, this is just a tentative graph. If you want to see exact shape, you have to refer the calculator. And this. So the blue one is the actual graph for this modulus function. Now there is one simple point of common sense which let us see how many of you can understand. If f of x minus 3 inside the mod is less than or equal to 0, we are dealing with. Okay. Why am I using the word common sense? Because it is a modulus function and modulus function can never be negative. Before saying that, we have seen it in the graph also that it will be only the blue portion, not the orange one. Okay, so it can never be negative. That's why the person who has framed the question has smartly given less than or equal to 0. You can see that if they would have given only less than 0 in the question, then the answer would have been a null set, an empty set. Okay, we can write it down in such a way that in such cases, we can write it down that there is no possible solution. But since they have also given equal to 0, it means this thing less than 0 is not possible. You can mention that in the reason, that since it is a mod, it can never be negative, but a mod can have 0 value. Okay, you can even put that in the mod only. A mod can have 0 value. Okay, so mod can have 0 value will be the solution because we are looking for less than or equal to 0. So that's why 1, 2, and 3. These are the solutions. So there will be no region for this. There will be no inequality. Rather, the answer will be x is equal to 7 by 2, 11 by 3, and 5. That is the answer for the last part. Okay, all mod questions have a different way to get solved. It all depends on the question. So please don't generalize anything. If you want to generalize, then you should understand that graph of mod is always on the upside. It can touch the x-axis, but it can never go below x-axis. And considering that basic concept, we have moved forward and we just got these 3 as the answers. Now, if there is any question, you can ask. Now, the last part of today's lecture, we will discuss that what is the difference between f of mod x versus mod of fx. We can have one more math lecture practicing the same, okay? So need not worry if you are not 100% clear, we'll do it, okay? But try to do some questions from your side also to get more clarity. Okay, before I start, can any one of you tell me that f of mod x means what and mod of fx means what?
Does f of mod x mean all the positive x values for mod of fx means all the positive y values?
Okay, good. So I'll just write it down. Modulus is considered only for input values. When I'm saying na f of mod x does not mean that it cannot have a negative answer. Answer means negative y value. Because the modulus is considered only for input values. It means x values must be greater than or equal to 0. So in such cases, let's say if I am creating graph of sine of, okay, sine will be confusing to understand. Let us create a graph of a quadratic. Okay, so if a graph is like this, okay, and if I'm saying f of mod x means it will be true only for x greater than or equal to 0. So in that case, you will be just taking this portion of the graph. Okay, you will not consider the other one if it is f of mod x. Okay, when I say mod of fx, the one which we have recently seen is mod of fx. So for mod of fx, I'll write modulus is considered for output values. So in this case, y values must be greater than or equal to 0. And if we look at the graph, then for graph, it will be this, then this, and this. So that is the basic difference between f of mod x and mod of fx.